Hello and welcome back, and as promised, we've got a pretty quick one for you today. It's this guy here. Isn't he just the cutest? It is a Brutus Monroe stamp. This is new, February 2020, and the technique we're doing today is a bouquet. Which is they usually use it in like photography. So it's something like this one, like this. Actually, I like the purple one better. So something like this. And I wanted to revisit this technique because it's a ton of fun. So let's go on to supplies. We've got quite a few different oxides we're using today. We will be using embossing dauber or Versamark, whatever you have. I've got the new new Distress embossing glaze, and then I also visit pan pastels. I've never used them before, so I play around with them a little bit, and at the end there'll be, you know, the close-ups for this one again. And as always, thank you for being here and enjoy. Okay, so let's get started. And what I've got here, I've got some squeezed lemonade and mustard seed, ripe persimmon, and dusty Concord on this nice little hack that I had seen from Tim Holtz. It makes it so the inks don't slide. It's really nice. Anyway, so I'm going to just start, and I'm on a mixed media cardstock here, and I'm just going to start adding some ink here. And I'm using the same tool for both of the yellows. And let's see, the pressure I'm using is, let's get, well, that's all right, probably like a medium, like if you were rubbing somebody's back, or, you know, it's like a medium pressure. It's not really heavy, because if I go too heavy, then I'm going to end up with streaks. If I go too light, then obviously the ink's not going to be coming off. I mean, I could go in layers, but not wanting to do that. Here, let's get a little bit of purple up in here. Gotta have purple, especially on a sunrise. So the bouquet is going to be kind of as if dew was sparkling, I guess, that's my idea. I'm not getting enough of the dusty Concord. So if I take and put it on here, look at all that juicy goodness. That's going to help me pick up more. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I want a real dark edge to appear as if that's still the sky. And, you know, I think I may, yep, I'm going to add just a little bit. Okay, and now I'm going to add just a little bit of chipped sapphire. so there we go. And if clouds are more your thing, then be sure to check out this video. Just click right there and I show you how to do these clouds. But let's continue on with this. Okay, I'm all cleaned up, and what we're going to do next is, because this is Distress Oxide, I want to put a coat on here so it doesn't interact with the bouquet circles. So I've got some matte medium here, and what I'm going to do is put a dollop here, and then I've got it on the gel plate so it doesn't move. And what I want to happen is I want to do it in, I've got just a, you know, a card here. It's pretty, this one's pretty stiff. I've got a couple different ones, but this is my stiffer one. And what I want to do is I want to swipe it across here so it happens just one time. And this isn't really wet, so it shouldn't smear. I've got a decent amount on there. As you can see, there's like a bead. And then, oh, uh-oh. And I'm just going to lightly swipe it across. And then just for comfort's sake, I'm going to move it. Get another one because there was some on there. And you know what? Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can also use a brayer for this if you'd like. Just make sure that it's nice and wet. And it's all over, as you can see. And then we'll just go real quick. Just once. And that's it. Now, of course, make sure that with the gel, you know, your gel plate, you want to clean this off pretty quick. This Liquitex matte medium is pretty pretty heavy duty. I get it on my hands and it feels like I'm peeling off glue for days. So that should be good. Let's clean it off of here. And then what we're going to do now, I've got put my brayer in my water. I give this a quick dry and see that oxide's coming off there. That's why you want to make sure you do it in one sweep. Okay, so our next step here is going to be adding like a hill. So what I've got here is I actually, to save myself time and cleanup, I keep a white one and a black tool in this bag with a wet, it can be a paper towel or a wipe, and I keep it in there all the time because I do use black and white with almost every project. So then that way, yeah, like I said, less cleanup. So what we're going to do is I've got a ripped piece of, this is a hair wrap. My daughter, who's a stylist, she didn't like these ones, so I'm using them. Snag them up. Don't let things go to waste. And I'm going to just put this here. And then put this on. And I'm brushing in this direction, so then that way it looks like the sun and the sunrise are going to be like it's grass. Can you see that? Okay. So now I just take and put it back in here. Every now and then I will give a spritz just to make sure they won't dry out. But these Tim Holtz blending foam, they don't harden anyway, so it's a wonderful perk. Let's get this. It was just a protection. And let's see, so our next step is to get our flowers. Well, actually we'll start doing some of the dots, and then we will stamp a couple flowers and then more dots. So what I'm going to start doing, let's make sure this is dry. Alrighty, I've got just a piece of Durlar, and I just took the different circles that I have, the different thinlits, and punched them out. I've used this stencil a few times, and obviously because I haven't cleaned it, but this is it's nice. Then I don't have to have, you know, a separate stencil or purchase anything. Now I do have here a circle stencil, which, see how thick that is? That's what makes this stencil nice, because it's really thin. So we're just going to take and go through. I've got a mix of Pigmented Brilliance, Moonlight White, and then I've got also exclusive White Daisy. So I'm just going to be mixing the two using the same, oh, this is a little dirty. Let's get a clean one. And all these in here are washed, so even though that looks dirty, it is washed. And let's just start. Get it nice and juicy. And then just kind of swirl it around. Look at that. And see, what's nice about this is because we put that gel medium on there, it's going to stay the true color. So I'm just going to fast forward this and continue to put the circles on. Really, there's nothing special to it. So yeah. One more thing I wanted to add is that we are going to keep the bigger ones to kind of last, because when you think about it, you know, these bubbles would look big closer they are. So these are the further away ones. So so now let's start stamping. I'm going to be adding these at the end when we get another layer on. Let's get the flowers going. For that, I'm going to be using my stamp platform. And let's go right about there. Oh, I got a little mess here. Let's just give this a dry to make sure that the pigments are dry. And what I have here is Spring Shadows 393. So what I'm going to do is I want the flower here. Let's see, we've got a small and a medium, and small leaves. There's another one here, and then some berries. We'll probably use those too. So let's get the focal one going. So let's get that one like right here. And I'm using my stamp platform because I want to be able to restamp it. So, and those are just there on the side. So I've got Archival, but I think I want to use this VersaFine. So this is my first, and it's because I don't want stays on, but I want it to go through that other pigment that's on there. It's pretty wet, isn't it? Never used this before. Yeah, it's a little too wet. So let's go back to using my tried and true. Okay. Now what I've actually done is, this isn't jet black. this is actually black soot. So what I do is take my Archival refiller and put it in here because I like black soot. There, that's better. Okay. So that's pretty juicy. I have to play around with this. Okay. And so we're going to get the leaf here. And if I lay this right over top, you're not going to see that top one. It's just going to look like a leaf. Go like that and not ink that top one. So I just got a shipment from a store online, and I bought these really cute Brutus Monroe, this little bunny. Now usually, and which one is this? February 2020. I don't usually do cutesy things like this, so again, out of my comfort zone. So what I did is I took 3 pieces of the Neenah 65 cardstock instead of you know, just using a heavy stock. But I used to belong to the you know, like the boxes that they send you every month for an art with an art box. What is it? Sketch box. So they had sent these pan pastels, and I actually had never played with them. So I'm like, oh, it'll look cute to just use it here. So I had to practice first. But really all I did here was I had a couple, they say to scoop up, because I guess you can, yeah, you can use it like paint. So I just applied some red there, and then this would clean up just like this. Comes right off. That's a lot of waste, but you know, like I said, first time using them. And then I'm going for kind of a pink here to do the nose and the cheeks. So I'm going to grab up some white and then put it in here, and then let's see, I've got a little, one of these little, I don't know, must have come in the box too, for the nose. And I'm just going to do all three of them in case I ever want a little bunny to add again. So just dabbing it in, and then here I'm going to use this bigger one for the cheeks. So I'm just going to blend up a little bit of a pink color. I don't know if you can see the powder, the pigment is right here. So that's kind of a pinky color. I'm just going to dab it on her little cheeks. Like so. I don't have to worry about being messy because I can erase it. It's cute. So I've got this itty bitty little eraser. We'll just clean it up off this black. Look how cute. Okay, so a couple things I did off screen. I took and stamped, I think this is a Stephanie Bernard, not stamped, die cut, and then put the embossing dauber on with then some of Tim Holtz embossing glaze, which gave me this hello. Also, I die cut using these Recollections. And what I did for this one is you only put the cutting pad up to here. So then that way half is on and half is off, and then I layered that, and also used the embossing dauber with the glaze on here, and then stamped friend, embossed that, heat set it, and then just have some foam dots ready to go for the bunny. Now what I want to do with this is edge it, don't waste paper, and so I'm going to get my black acrylic here with the gesso and just kind of dab the sides like this, just to give me a real nice crisp edge. Like so. Okay. And then I'm going to give this a quick dry. Although this black gesso dries really quick and it's a nice flat mat. So this is going to look like this. Get a couple dabs of glue. There we go. And then this, I did double layer it because this was just a little too wide, and so it cut the tag. But the nice thing about this is if this was just a little bit larger, you wouldn't have separate pieces. I'm only putting the glue up here because this is going to go over top, like, oh, I can't see that, hold on, like this. Okay, and I'm going to clamp this just for a minute or so while we finish up laying this. And now how I thought that the little bunny would go is like this, and then kind of be inside of the hello like this. I don't know, I just think that's cute. So we really only need glue on this edge of the H. Ooh, that's a little much. Like so. And then the edge of the O. Let's get him back in so we can get this lined up properly. Like this. I already had these layered. Again, this one, top one's 2. And this bottom one's 1. I want to get him right on the hill. So right about there. Like that. Now I'll move the clamps to here. I know I have another one of those. Maybe not. Let's use this. That other one's just too big. And I need to clean this up a little. It does retract, but that's a lot. And I can be kind of picky. I don't like to see glue. Okay. Now I'll come back and we're going to tie this off, and then we are all done.